You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
It's December 10th, 2016. It is another episode of the Impact Implosion here on the Angry Marks Podcast Network. As always, I am Seth Draken, and on the other end is the total to my deletion, Mr. Mike Poland.
Good evening, or good late night.
Well, let's get to start. We got some news.
Yep.
Small news, but news still nonetheless. After this week, the tribunal is gone, thank God.
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, nothing of value was lost. American Express seeks default judgment in the debt on TNA because TNA has not responded.
What? You don't say. Dixie Carter blowing up a debt.
Yep.
Another week where we have more bad Dixie news.
So they are defaulting on that payment. So yes, congratulations TNA, you lose a lawsuit, which you probably deserved. And, of course, total nonstop deletion, the Rock and Roll Express will be there.
Really?
Yep. They will be one of the teams there.
Now we just need to get the new Heavenly Bodies booked.
Well, hey, they're a tag team from space and time.
And Matt Hardy was at Final Battle last weekend.
And, oh yeah, challenging the Young Bucks.
And apparently they're going to do that at Super Card of Honor. They shot a segment for TV that'll air in a couple weeks.
And apparently Tigre Uno's gone. He's been saying he's been gone.
At a time where you don't really have any depth in the X division, you probably shouldn't be losing X division guys.
Yep. So.
And let's get to our first show.
Let's get to the first of 3 shows, which was the Thanksgiving show. Now, I was a little leeway to this one because, of course, with it being a holiday show, you know they're not putting their best stuff forward because they know they're going to get a shitty rating.
And they did.
And, of course, they did. We begin with Brother Nero coming out with both tag belts, but they keep calling him Jeff Hardy. He says he is thankful for his family, but he is not alone, and he calls the creatures his family. So,
I'm thankful for the creatures.
With my brother having broken brilliance, right now he's in an amnesia state. So he says Jeff Hardy, Jeff is putting up an open challenge to any member of the DCC. So, and they say, you know what, Jeff? Sure, we'll accept this challenge. It'll be a no DQ match later on in the night. Okay. They enter the ring, assault Nero. Nero takes care of both Bram and Kingston, but escapes before Storm can hit the last call.
And we also have Matt Hardy vignettes, which I don't know if the first one happened at the beginning of the show.
The first one happened right now. Back in Cameron, Matt is preparing for his ice cream social, while Senior Benjamin is reading Playboy and Vanguard 1 is drinking.
That's a drone drink.
Yep. Matt says they should love his tangerine custard, as it will be the first ever Hardy Thanksgiving ice cream social. He says, no longer should we be killing turkeys for Thanksgiving and instead living off the earth. Well, turkeys are part of the earth. Matt leaves, and Vanguard tells Benjamin that he will be in trouble when the Broken One remembers, if he remembers. So, when we go to a triple threat elimination Team X Gold, or as I like to call it, the Capture the Flag Championship match, was Team Go for Broke fights Spud and Decay, and Lee, Everett, and Rocket. Basically,
whoever wins will fight DJZ on the next show.
Yep. X-Division title shots for all the members of the winning team. Spud gets scoop slammed by everyone except Crazy Steve. Yes, even Abyss joined in on that action. And immediately Abyss gets eliminated because he used the steel chair on Mark Andrews.
Can't do that.
Crazy Steve forces Andrews to tap out to a submission, so Andrews is out. Everett then hits a moonsault on Crazy Steve, and he's gone. So Spud is all left for his team. DJZ then hits a ZDT on Everett, eliminate him. Braxton Sutter eliminates Trevor Lee with the flatliner. So Rockstar Spud and freaking Rocket should be teaming up on the Z and
DJ Z and friends.
Z and Sutter. But at some point they get into a Spud goes to tag his partners, forgetting that they've been eliminated. So Rocket hits him with a Cyto Slam to eliminate him.
Yep.
Smart moves, Rocket, because then you get a flatliner for your defeat as Team Go for Broke wins, which means ZJZ will have to defend his belt in the future against his own tag partners. Backstage, Allie is playing with paper figures as Maria and Laurel are walking in. No, you did. I'm sorry, sir. Didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
Oh, boy.
Spaceballs. Allie reveals she never had a big family growing up, so she does this paper figure crap every year. And rightfully so, although they're bullies, Maria and Laurel don't know whether to laugh or cry about this. So we're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner in the ring, and Allie's like, oh, yay, yay. And she's like, no, you're going to be the server, because it's a double date. Oh, and you'll be a pilgrim.
Yep.
Matt is making his ice cream, and Benjamin tells him it needs more egg, and Matt says, thank you, while Vanguard 1 is shaking his little camera head.
Don't put egg in ice cream.
Yeah, well, custard.
Oh.
But Matt says, I am going to make Robert Irvine obsolete. He pauses for a minute as Vanguard 1's camera looks up, but false alarm as he goes back to doing what he does. So the ref from Final Deletion shows up, and he wants to talk to Matt Hardy.
Yes,
Benjamin tells Vanguard that you drink too much, and Vanguard tells him, don't judge me, bro. Time for the in-ring double date. Thanksgiving meal, as Maria was with Bennett, and LVN reveals that her date is Braxton Sutter. Allie comes out with turkey music as her theme, but the crowd still loves her.
Oh, cheer for her.
Yeah. Allie tells Braxton, back in high school, they used to call me Laurel Van Yes.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not. Although he is like, ooh, but that's not a good thing. That means you're a slut. Allie gets so mad.
That's not as far as the bad acting will go in this segment.
Allie gets so mad that there's nothing vegan here that she can eat because she's slaved away in all this. And she goes to pie Laurel Van Ness, but Maria gets the pie. And she reacts.
Like, what happened here?
Yep. So EC3 and Eli Drake get hyped for tonight, and we go back to the Hardy compound as the ref is showing Matt, you won the world title. And he's like, wait, I beat EC3? So I've beat him twice? So I treated him like my bitch. He's a good wrestler, I hear.
Who's this Rockstar Spud? Is he a potato?
Who is this dinosaur here? But why was I in the ladder match? I'm scared of heights. Who's this dinosaur here? That's Cyrus. Who is this little person? That's Rockstar Spud. Is he a potato? And he's like, no. So Remy asks if it is working, and the ref just says, no.
No.
So time for Eli Drake versus EC3, voice versus title shot. And Josh is torn because he likes both EC3 and the Fact of Life. Side Russian leg sweep into the turnbuckle by EC3, which looked pretty vicious.
Yep.
We had a nice jump by Eli Drake to jump to the top rope from the mat for a superplex. We had Eli Drake cutting a promo in the middle of a match. He gets too cocky, and EC3 hits him with the TK3. EC3 then hits a frog splash, 2 count. Drake hits the blunt force trauma, 2 count. Eli Drake goes for the 1%er, but it's reversed. EC3 hits the 1%er instead, 2 count. EC3 with the sleeper hold, escape, blunt force trauma attempt, reversed into the sleeper hold, and Eli has the tap. Great match.
These guys are both good. It's just that obviously EC3 is going over here.
Yeah, this was a really good match, and I hope this is not the end of it. So, back at the Hardy compound.
Eli get his revenge for losing his voice for.
Yeah.
The rest of the tapings.
Reby is now with a hypnotherapist named Dr. Maximilian.
Montana Max.
Matt seems to have remembered his broken brilliance thanks to this, but then the freaking person snaps his fingers, and Hardy doesn't remember again.
Son of a bitch.
Seriously, why did you have him snap his fingers back? You had him in the broken brilliance, then you had to snap him back to reality, and he doesn't remember. You had him.
You idiot.
It was working. So, Shearer and Snow are going to fight the Tribunal. All of them get jobber entrances. Josh does a cheap plug for Al Snow Wrestling Academy. And he says the critics are raving about Schitt's Creek, while I went and looked at Rotten Tomatoes and 50%. That is not good.
That's half and half, pretty much.
Then Shearer does the Shearer Shuffle, which I thought Tyrus told him he could never do again, but what do I know?
Tyrus is obsolete now.
And in this match, Shearer sucks. He's not Brandy Rose bad, but he's still bad.
You don't say.
Sky High in a 2 count. Snow Plow by Al Snow. Baron breaks it up. Tribunal uses a foreign weapon, their belt, and gets DQ'd. This was a terrible match, and Tribunal leaves their opponents laying after several belt whips. So we go backstage where Robbie E. and Grado are pleading with Aiden O'Shea for a match. And Aiden's like, you know what? The boss gives you one, but against each other. But loser has to wear the turkey suit.
This gimmick.
Yeah, loser is like, I'm not wearing the turkey suit. You wear the turkey. No, I'm not wearing the. So this match. Oh dear.
What were they expecting quality-wise between these two?
I was not expecting purple nurples in the middle of a fucking match. I was not expecting both men trying to use the ropes, which Aiden stops, and then Aiden shows the turkey suit to them, which scares them.
What are they, Eric Young?
I was not expecting Robbie E. to get depantsed.
Oh, God.
But he is okay with this, as he pins Grado for the win, so Grado has to wear the turkey suit, tries to get away, but Aiden says no, you put it on. Grado, Josh, in his Shut Up Josh moment for this episode, says Grado and the turkey suit are trending worldwide, which they weren't.
No, they're not. No, they're
Grado
not.
seemed a little hesitant about this, upset, but he's okay in the suit now, and he and Robbie are dancing as Aiden O'Shea, just like all of us, is just face-palming and shaking his head. What have I got? Why? So, Rosemary's promo, as she and Jay will fight in the cage match next week for the vacant Knockouts title.
Yep.
And it's time for a main event as Brother Nero fights one of DCC, and it's Bram.
No DQ match.
And Pop TV decided to plug this show, which, I am not serious, behind every show is a bunch of idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds so much like TNA Impact.
Yep, that's what they're plugging in during Impact.
Yep. So Jeff really is an idiot for agreeing to this match, and DCC doesn't even try to hide that they're going to interfere. Twist of Fate for a 2 count. Again, Kingston is made to look like an idiot. Storm hits the super kick, and Bram hits the Brighter Side of Suffering for the win. They celebrate with the tag titles in taunts as we go finally back to the Hardy compound. Reby doesn't know what she can do, and she just gives up. Matt says, no one knows what it feels like to be me. If I am truly broken, may the 7 deities send me a sign. Or the 7 gods. And he's like, oh, the 7 deities send me a sign. Lightning strikes him. Reby's like, are you okay, Matt? He's like, I am broken. And yes, he is back to being broken Matt Hardy. So then we go to December 1st.
Yep.
Hold on for a minute. All right. Replay shows the whole Amnesia Odyssey, which ended last week.
Well, Epic Hardy Odyssey.
Yep, the Epic Hardy Amnesia Odyssey. So we begin with Aaron Rex and the Grand Championship. As according to the announcers, he's defending the belt tonight. Aaron gets on the mic and says, I have made this Grand Championship the #1 belt in the world.
Nope.
So he's like, I issue a challenge, open challenge. And Moose accepts. And Aaron's like, no, not Moose. Stop that music. Play Gradle's music. But no,
out here.
but no, it is Moose. So he has to put up, and he has a tug of war with the ref for the belt before the ref then Rex delays so he can stretch and do breathing exercises. And he immediately runs out to the ring to do a cartwheel. And he tries his illegal punch, which is still allowed, but Moose gives him the game changer, becomes champion.
In less than a minute and a half.
Yep. And Aaron Rex becomes a crybaby, considering he didn't even come close to living up to his hype.
Nope.
So, Brother Nero has arrived, and he says Broken Matt is going to be here tonight, but he doesn't know what Matt we will see. And we get the DCC, and they are in the ring, but for some reason, they got to speak in a pre-recorded message, as if Ole Anderson's in the back somewhere.
Or James Earl Jones.
We are doing. And you have 3 guys who can cut fine promos, but let's force them to be in this grainy pre-recorded shit. That's so smart. Not.
Yay.
So here comes Brother Nero, and yes, the Broken Hardys will defend their belts tonight against DCC. Kingston talks down Jeff, asking where his partner is. Jeff hits him with the Twist of Fate, which is a bad move. Again, Kingston looking like an idiot. Bad move is now.
Team look bad.
Bad news is now Bram and James Storm is kicking his ass. The clock ticks, lights go out, and Broken Matt appears in the ring to attack DCC, sending him out of the ring. And
you boys will be deleted.
Brother Nero says, Brother Moore, I knew you'd come. So yes, later on tonight, they're getting their titles match. So instead, we got the X Division as Mark Andrews, Brax Sutter, DJZ hype up the X Division title shot. And we find out that TNA is selling Dixie Carter's theme song for download.
Why would you buy that?
I don't know. So the match begins with the X Division triple threat. A bunch of attempts at quick roll-ups fail because someone else stops them. DJZ is playing up the injury with both the match that they mentioned. He suffered because his knee caught the guardrail last week.
Yep.
Which, as later, those guardrails seems to be a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that later. But anyways, Andrew D caught the shoulder of Sutter while he was doing a moonsault on both on the outside because Sutter didn't completely catch him. So, yeah, congrats, Sutter. You got a knee to your shoulder. Enjoy it.
Good work, buddy.
Andrews tries to skateboard. Z intercepts him with an elbow. Z hurts his knee, and Sutter checks in on it, but Andrews tries to roll up for a 2 count. Z front suplexes Sutter onto Andrews from the top rope. Innovative offense from Z as he hits a neckbreaker onto Sutter, who hits Andrews with a DDT.
A tag team spot, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, not really a tag team spot. You have Sutter. You've positioned Sutter to DDT, Andrews, but you neckbreaker him while he's still hitting the DDT.
Yep.
So Z tries for the ZDT, but Sutter hits him with a big boot in his flatliner finisher, but Andrew stops him from going for the pin. Andrew hits a stunner and goes for the top rope and hits a shooting star press, but Z gets up and rolls up Andrews for the 3 to retain.
And then Andrews turns heel for...
Yep, seems like good show of sportsmanship, but Andrews decides to kick Z's knee as Sutter is confused, so Team Go for Broke is done.
I kicked your bloody leg out from under your bloody leg.
Laurel keeps insinuating she is with Braxton, even though Allie points out they are never seen together. And she's like, oh, we keep it on the down low. And Sutter feels sorry for you. That's why he's trying to be nice to you. But I don't have to be nice to you because I know you're working for Maria. Oh, and there will be consequences for last week. So basically saying she will be fired. Okay. So Maria comes to the ring, and it's time for Allie, the chipmunk, to pay the piper. Pie face chants. Maria calls out Allie. Allie apologizes for hitting her in the face, and Maria's like, I know you didn't mean to hit me because you're jealous of Laurel. and Allie denies this, but Maria tells her to shut up. Maria is now insinuating that Allie lied about her being okay for her match at Bound for Glory, which is false. Maria was fine, and they had the doctor's note to prove it. Allie yells at Maria that she was honest, and she tells off Maria that LVN still lies about her relationship with Sutter. And, of course, by telling Maria off, she slapped her.
Slap her around the impact zone.
Slap her around the world, according to Josh. Shut up, Josh. LVN and Maria attack Allie and leave her laying. So they play the same Rosemary promo from last week, as the steel cage match will be our main event, but our main event is the tag title match, as the Broken Hardys defend against DCC's Bram and Kingston. And to make Kingston look like a bigger idiot, they put him with a chest protector, as if he is Roman Reigns or D'Lo Brown. Twist of fates to both Hardys. Oh, from both Hardys. It's on to Kingston as the Hardys retain.
It was a pretty good match, too, by the way.
But it was rather quick to make the DCCs look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. You made the DCC look bad by having them lose immediately in their first, tag match. Montage sets up tonight's, not their first tag match, because they had a handicap match, and they won. So, technically not their first, but their shot at the tag titles, they lose. Clean.
Good booking.
So, Montage sets up the Knockouts title match for later on tonight, and it's a montage of Jade training and being ready for the match. EC3 is backstage with Eli Drake saying, you proved yourself last week. And you know what? I'd be more than happy to give you the title shot. When I win the title tonight, when I win the title next week, all you have to do is say the word. Say the word. And Eli can't talk. So Eli just laughs and says, see you never. So backstage promo with Show and Shira trying to show off their backs to show the welts from last week, except bad lighting backstage, so we can't see the welts.
Yay.
Nice job, TNA. Snow says the tribunal owes him everything and calls them nothing without him, which isn't true as they were nothing even with him. So next week we're getting a strap match.
Goody.
And here comes EC3, and they mention that Eli Drake will get fined $25,000 if he speaks, so he has reason to keep the stipulation going. Because they ain't paying you good money in TNA, so $25,000's a lot.
Uh-huh.
So EC3 calls out Eddie. He gives him the credit that, you took the belt off Franklin, I couldn't do it, but this is my third title shot this year. And I'm not going to fail this third one, but Eddie says, bring it. And this is supposed to be talking seriously, but Eddie keeps smiling. EC3 says, I'm going to go all out. I'm willing to ruin friendships to get here. And I'm going to go on a quote, kill them all and let God sort them out. That is the champion's mentality. So he leaves. Eddie looks bad on the mic, and that's against another guy. He really needs to lose this world title.
Yes.
Main event time.
Main event.
Jay takes on Rosemary. Madison is once again Knockouts colored commentator. Gail is also here to see who wins the belt. And apparently you can escape the cage to win this match, which is good because they both start out outside the cage. After the bell rings, they both go outside. And they have to get themselves back into the ring before the cage door can close. And Madison says, there is no one stronger than Jade. And I'm like, pure strength-wise, I think Sienna would disagree with you.
Yes.
Rosemary acted like she was going to miss Jade. Jade ducks, but it was all a trick so Rosemary can attack Jade while she's distracted. On Twitter, apparently Jade calls Rosemary red, and Rosemary calls Jade blue. So, trying to ape off that popular web series. And there was a trash can brought into this match, and Jade throws it at Rosemary. Oscar the Grouch does not approve. Jade body presses Rosemary from on top of the cage, which is nice. Jade goes for the cover, but only gets a 2 count because he took too long to go for the pin. This was mostly a good match. Rosemary hits the mist this time, hits the red wedding, which is an F5, and Rosemary's your new Knockouts champion. And this was
you also met on the One Night Only that airs this weekend, which I will talk about on Thursday night when we do a show.
This was a good match, really good match. Rosemary's posing with the belt. It should have been longer, if that's my only critique of the match. But honestly,
could have gotten rid of Grado and Robbie E and that whole mess to have this match go longer.
Yeah, I'll give this a B.
Yeah.
Good show, but a minor nitpicks. So then we go to this week's show.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Yep. A show you did not see all of. A show I wish I had not seen all of.
Yep.
We begin with a montage hyping up Eddie Edwards and EC3 for the world title. And in the ring, here comes Moose to show off his newly won Grand Championship. Moose has a mic as the fans say you deserve it. And he talks about how the Grand Championship is his first singles title, and he dedicates it to the fans. You know, face promo 101. Yep. He promises to be a fighting champion, and here comes Drew Galloway. He introduces himself and says he is back, and he mentions, there's a little story. This tournament was made for me, that title was made for me, but I was carrying this company so hard on my back that I basically got injured doing it. Why does this injury matter? Because Drew was supposed to be in the finals of the grand title, and since he never got his shot, it doesn't matter who the champion is, as it doesn't count. It's like the preseason, and fighting him is like the real Super Bowl. So he challenges Moose to a match, and asks if they should burn this bitch to the ground, or even having a lighter, for effect. Moose seems okay with this, and here comes Aaron Rex. And he basically says, Drew, welcome back. I'd shake your hand, but I don't want you to get injured again. And says, while you were away, I became the first and best grand champion, and I got robbed by Moose. He wasn't ready, despite the fact that he issued an open challenge. And 3 seconds really shouldn't determine a fight. Actually, it was 90.
Determine a wrestling match. So.
Funny, it was 90, and the crowd's booing him, so he says, stop booing me, or I will sue you for sexual harassment.
Boo.
That is stupid. That is not funny or innovative. So, I am owed a rematch, and I'm doing that right now. So, match begins, and 30 seconds in, Rex uses the illegal punch. But Moose falls to the outside, so he can't get the pinfall. Rex has to roll Moose in the ring and tries for the pin, but only gets 2 count. Basically, the rest of the match is Rex kicking Moose's ass. So, round 1 goes to Aaron Rex. Round 2 happens, and Aaron Rex wipes his hand on the towel, which is believed to have some substance. He goes to rake his eyes, but misses. Then there's a point where Moose goes after Rex on the ropes, and Rex gets his eyes. So Moose is blinded, and the announcers are convinced Rex had something, which they're like, check the I know you can't wrap his knuckles, but you can check the fucking towel in the middle of the match. You can check the fucking towel. If there's a residue on the towel that isn't sweat, there's something there. So Rex dominates, wins round 2, basically meaning that if round 3 happens, he will regain the title. And Josh says something has to be done about Rex tactics, but they can't do anything right now. So, but less than a minute in the third round, Moose hits the game changer and retains the title. So, fed all that did. Fed all this whole match did. This was pointless.
Put Moose over and set him up against Drew.
So Eddie's backstage and says, "It is here. I may have had some luck to win this title, but I brought it home ultimately, and I will keep this title." So they asked the dumbest question of Drew Galloway backstage, like, "Hey, what's it like being passed over for the title shot tonight?" And like, Aaron did what he could do, but it's this company. I'm going to get the gold soon enough. And he leaves. Basically, Drew has to make shit make something good a sandwich out of shit. Because that's what he got. And it's time for the newly turned Mark Andrews And he has a match with Aiden O'Shea. And I feel the way Aiden O'Shea is talking and the way Mark Andrews is looking, you would think that there was probably supposed to be a backstage segment where Billy Corgan was supposed to be pissed and sends Aiden O'Shea to kick Mark Andrews' ass. You'd think. Yeah. There was something supposed to be set up here, but never happened because Billy Corgan's no longer with the company. So, instead of doing, the boss is pissed and he said, you gotta fight me. So instead, and the crowd's chanting for Mark Andrews, even though he's a heel, but Aiden O'Shea's acting like a heel throughout most of this match, except the one time Andrews rakes the eyes.
This is terribly confusing.
This is a bad match. Josh doesn't make it any better, but he tells Pope, I deserve a gift for carrying you on commentary, and Pope says, oh, I have a gift for you. It's toilet paper. Pope says the crowd is not behind Mark Andrews like they usually are, which you could fool me since twice they are chanting for him. Basically, Andrews wins with a shooting star press, gets the victory.
A heel wins with a flashy move.
Announcers call this an upset. It really wasn't because Andrews has been shown wrestling and Aiden's been just backstage.
Right.
And oh boy, worst match of the night. The tag team double strap match between Al Snow, Mabali Shira versus the Tribunal. And Josh, to start this off, calls Shira and Snow America's favorite tag team.
Shut up, Josh.
You mean a tag team that has basically been formed in only a few weeks? How can this be America's favorite tag team?
And one of them is not American?
Oh yeah, and then Pope's like, it's India's favorite tag team too.
Oh, shut up, both of you.
Yeah. So, basic rules of this match, both partners have to touch all 6 turnbuckles consecutively to win. If it's stopped, then both of them got to start all over. And,
of course, it starts with them not even tied to the straps on the floor.
Yeah, they start fighting, and they want to use the straps with the wrestling. No, you got to be tied first.
Yay. A gimmick match.
Crowd chants, we want head. Al looks terrible because someone told old ass Snow it was a good idea to wear trunks in your age.
No.
I was surprised these two made a match suck. They made a strap match suck.
Yep.
And this is one of the biggest things. Snow knows how to do these strap matches because he can actually hit someone flesh with a strap and you can hear it. Meanwhile, Shira's not even hitting flesh with his strap, but instead decides to stomp to try to make us believe he's hitting him with the strap. I'm not kidding here. Either Shira cannot hit somebody with a strap well, or Dax is so fucking sensitive that Shira's got to do the stomp and not really hit him. This was really bad. And Snow and Shira win. Let's just get this over with.
Main event time.
No, actually, first, Matt Hardy is having a dream that his face is an entrance wall and chants of delete, and he laughs, wakes up, laughs, and says, Apocalypto! And surprisingly, Rebby does not wake up at all. So she must be a deep sleeper.
Or she just must be used to it at this point.
That could be true. So, EC3...
Oh, Matt's having a dream again.
Matt's talking again. EC3 says he doesn't believe in luck, but he does believe in fate, and fate will decide his victory tonight. Eli Drake shows up, and EC3's like, come on, say something. What do you got to say? So Eli knows he can't speak, so he just signals that EC3's going to choke, and EC3's like, I'm not going to choke tonight. And he just leaves Eli with the mic. And here come the Broken Hardys, and the crowd chants for King Maxwell. And he says in 7 days, Impact will be held at the Hardy compound. Impact stars from all over will be at my compound, as well as Senior Benjamin and Vanguard One. And Maxwell, how about having your first match tonight? And the crowd cheers for this, and Matt's like, yeah, it's delightful. And Maxwell is clapping his hands.
Don't encourage him, Maxwell. He might actually do it.
He's Maxwell's wrestling the old non-stop deletion.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Maxwell's debut match.
Who's he wrestling? What,
I have no idea.
Baby?
I don't know. But the main event will be Tag Team Apocalypto as the Broken Hardys will defend their tag belts in an open challenge against anyone from space and time. And yes, it'll be called Total Nonstop Deletion.
Delete.
And here comes Gregory Shane Helms, which we have not seen in a while. And Helms says, well, I am going to go there. I am going to be there, and I accept your challenge. And Matt's like, great, you will be bringing the obsolete free count. And he's like, no, not that. And Matt's like, oh, you'll be bringing his superhero friend? And he's like, no, it's going to be Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett I'm bringing.
You still manage them?
Yeah, yeah. So, yes. So, yes, Decay comes out and says they will also be at Total Nonstop Deletion. Rosemary shows off her belt, basically cut a promo that they're going to take everything. And Gregory Shane Helms gets a twist of fate from Matt Hardy. Then we get a DCC promo from wherever their headquarters is, and they say they will be at Total Nonstop Deletion as well.
Alrighty.
So, time for Laurel Van Ness versus Allie.
Oh, God.
Allie comes out, Maria has a mic, and she laughs at Allie like, we're going to do this? You can't even wrestle. And Allie's like, I can wrestle. I've been training. And Maria's like, who would train you? And Allie reveals Braxton Sutter.
Yeah.
Laurel is shocked by this because all her lies and interests have been thrown back at her. And Allie's wrestling moves, arm drags.
Yay.
I can't hide my disgust by this Allie character, because even though she's over, and yes, the crowd's getting her over and all that, it's Cherry Bomb. We've seen Cherry Bomb wrestle. She's good. We've seen her in TNA wrestle.
Yeah, she's been in a couple of the Knockdown shows.
Yes, she's a good wrestler, so Allie also knows how to do suplexes, and she's excited about this. And Saxon's like, get back in there.
Female Eugene, pretty much.
Basically, so Bennett attacks Braxton. God damn it. Sutter chases him to the back, but this distracts Allie, and Laurel attacks her from behind. Laurel hits a facebuster and sets up for a finishing stomp, but Allie reverses and hits a reverse DDT and pins Laurel. So yeah, she's got Sting's move.
Will she start getting a baseball bat next?
So Maria attempts to sneak attack Allie, like the sneak attack. Literally not trying to attack her from behind, but literally creep up on her. But Allie sees this, and Maria retreats. They re-show the montage from the opening to hype up the main event, as if we didn't see this earlier. And Allie is happy in the parking lot with Sutter, and Sutter's like, you can do anything now. So Allie gives him a quick kiss. She's like, I'm nervous, and she backs away, hits a car, and leaves. She backs into a parked car.
Good God.
And leaves. Sutter seems smitten by this, and then they show the preview of Total Nonstop Deletion. And oh my God. There are explosions.
Yay!
There is Vanguard 1 shooting shit. There are people using the Hardy house as a weapon.
Yes.
There is fire. There are three people in DCC show up in DCC masks. And yes, I am afraid I am going to need a pack of smokes after next week, because this looks awesome.
It's orgasmic.
2 hours of pure insanity.
Oh, Matt Hardy.
So, okay, EC3 and Eddie Edwards, that match starts.
Yep.
And, oh boy. For the first few minutes, they just do one move and press. So, yeah, there was just picking up the tempo. You're just standing there. But it gets to second gear, eventually, and we see that Eddie is chopping the hell out of EC3's chest as it is beat red. And there is a suicide dive by Eddie Edwards onto the guardrail, and Eddie gets his leg caught under the guardrail. I'm not kidding, and he has to say, ow.
Oh, boy.
So, yes, it looked hilarious to see a man, his legs caught under the guardrail, and he's like, ah! So, again, we get the no-sells of a superplex and a no-sell of an enziguri by EC3. And then Eddie Edwards decides, I'm going to no-sell a TK3 and hit a Boston Knee Party.
Yay! Love it.
The outside. He hits another TK3 onto the floor, and thankfully Eddie sells this one.
Well, he's going to slam on the concrete this time. Then
they go back in the ring. There's some stuff. EC3's about to go to the top ropes. Eddie Edwards stops him. He hits what's his cradled jawbreaker, but EC3 no-sells that and gets Eddie with the sleeper hold. Then we get the fucked up finish.
Oh, yes.
Eddie Edwards, EC3's shoulders are on the mat, so the ref counts to 3, and then Eddie taps out. After the 3 is hit, Eddie taps. And the crowd is not even believing this, as they even say EC3 kicked out, which he didn't, but here's the problem. They call this a draw. Mm-hmm. What I missed was they called this a draw finish. Except that's not what happened. Here's the problem. EC3's shoulders were not on the mat. One of them actually was up, and Eddie Edwards tapped after the third wrong hit. I understand what they were doing. They were doing the Undertaker finish.
The Undertaker Kurt Angle finish.
Yeah, the Undertaker Kurt Angle 2002 finish. Except you need to be precise with that shit. And they weren't. So it looks completely fucked up, and especially with EC3, one of his shoulders being up. One way, either the ref didn't sheathe the shoulder, so EC3 loses the match, or the shoulder was up, and Eddie Edwards loses the match and loses the title. You've fucked this whole thing up. This match was terrible, and I have to give this show an F because you basically
you made your top 2 faces look bad.
You made this whole show was just TNA. Obviously, these wrestlers were tired because they did a long series of tapings, and basically they just could not get into second gear. The crowd was tired.
TNA needs to figure out a way to
not do months of
shows
tapings.
in advance.
Not do months of tapings in 1 week, because these wrestlers are getting tired.
Yes, and it's affecting the quality of good matches.
Yeah. So I just cannot believe this show. This was just bad. But next week hopefully will be great because total non-stop deletion.
Delete!
Obsolete! So
and on that note, do you have anything to sell?
No, I do not have anything to sell tonight. Do you?
Nope. I guess we can wrap.
We can wrap this 3-week odyssey of shows, and Miley, we are heading to bed.
Good night and delete!